we just restocked the fuel trailer, more engine oil, more grease, cleaned some stuff out of it. So let's get things ready for hopefully what could be another big day. I didn't get around to cutting hay this year, but shoot, if we left this field a little longer, we could have cut silage or hay. Either way, we're working on second pass now. So this tractor pretty much ran out of fuel yesterday and they had to stop early. So now we'll give it 1,000 liters and it'll go for another couple days. Well, it's a good thing that we stocked this thing with tools, because turns out I'm gonna need them. So when we originally set up this fuel trailer, I set it up. Oh, where's the flathead? Come on, we gotta have a flathead in here. There we go. I originally set it up with rubber lines going from the tank to the pump to here, and they've been degrading fairly quickly just based off the angle I think that they're running. I do want to switch it all to steel hardline, and I guess this popped off now today, so we'll just quickly loosen this clamp, put it back on, get through the year, and then winter project, I guess we can put some steel lines here and connect it all nicely. While we're fueling up, we're going to check our hydraulic level. It is good. Factory recommendation is the middle of the middle glass. Most people who run these 2 tracks on an air drill, something with a hydraulic fan, they'll fill it near the top of the top glass, just to get a bit more oil in it for better cooling. And now we will just walk around the deep tiller and make sure it's all still here. I like to run used oil containers for my oil on equipment. Like this originally had obviously Shell Rotella in it. I emptied it and then I just keep refilling it with new oil because it's the perfect size. If your tractor is on the ad line, you could dump a whole one of these in and you don't have to check the dipstick. It's going to be the perfect amount. And then everyone knows, hey, this is very obviously engine oil. Whereas if you got a bunch of like 10-liter jugs that are all the same, but you got one for hydraulic oil, one for engine oil, it just is confusing. Got that cold start for the year. It's like 4 degrees Celsius. There we go, not too bad. We still gotta fix that battery cutoff. That's why it's clicking. So you guys have seen a lot of the harvest content and all that, but I think we gotta give some love to everyone doing tillage. It's the not so glamorous backbone of next year's crop, and they're doing a really important job, and we're keeping this thing rolling. The guy running it's doing a fantastic job. So it's every part of the farm coming together to make the whole thing work. It's really what it's about. And yeah, we would be using the disc for second pass generally, but that thing is not great. It needs a lot of work. Like, it's just old and cracked and it's small, it doesn't cover ground very fast. So we're gonna start doing second pass with the deep tiller again. It's doing a fairly nice job, and then we'll maybe run over it with the harrows. Because this year, if you watched any of my seeding stuff, we really learned that, hey, we need to prep our fields better, especially those fields that the planter is going in. It just caused so many issues this year that we're really trying to focus on that and get things better prepared for next year and do it in the fall, because anything in the spring is hurting your crop. You guys know the drill. Let's grease, check oils, and fuel things up. At this point, I mean, I could do it in my sleep pretty much. It's just, it's so monotonous, but hey, you got to do it. You got to stay on top of it. And greasing and grease time intervals, something I kind of wanted to talk about, because it's like these manufacturers these days are having competitions with how long they can spread out the greasing intervals. And everyone likes the sound of it when they go look at a new piece of machinery. Less greasing, easier to just hop in and go. at the end of the day, it's only benefiting the manufacturer though, because you're going to have more downtime. They're going to sell more parts. A lot of these things, whatever the greasing interval is, pretty much should be split in half. Because you're just like the bearings, combines are all bearings and they don't get enough grease. Grease your equipment. Grease is the cheapest form of maintenance. And it's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to do 30 minutes of greasing every day than to lose a day or two because a bearing was neglected. And not even neglected, it's terrible. They're telling you 100, 250, 500 hours on some of these things, and they need more grease. So, do research. There's a lot of research out there. And then also test it and figure it out on your own. A lot of these fittings that I do every day, they say they're 50-hour fittings, but you know, if a bearing runs for 10 hours at decent RPMs, you could put 10 shots into it pretty safely and know that you're not going to have an issue. And like the variable speed drives on these things, they say they're 50 hours. They also don't tell you how much grease to put in. And over the years, I've lowered the amount of grease I put in, but I put it in still just as consistently. And the way I figured that out is, you know, over the years, I've had to take apart variable speed drives, change bushings, that sort of thing. And if I see a lot of grease on the shivs or kind of bypassing out to where it shouldn't be, yeah, we can give it a little less. So I've knocked my greasing from 8 shots to 6 shots now to 4 shots of grease every day on these variable speed drives, but it's still important that they're getting that fresh grease more often than what it says. So I'm gonna grease this all up quickly. It should take a half an hour. It really isn't bad. By that point, my other guy will be here. He'll start fueling up, checking oils, and we really need to clean our cabs, and then we're gonna have to spend a decent amount of time just cleaning mud off of the cutter bar, getting things polished up and ready to go again. I was talking to my brother. He said it was pretty dewy at the farm, but over here, honestly, it was a nice morning. The dew was not too heavy. Sun's out, wind's picking up. He wanted to start at 1. I think we're going to get a sample at 11, see where the moisture's at. It came down a ton yesterday. At the end of the day, we were delivering 12% beans. So hopefully it went back up and maybe we're close to the 13, 14 mark. And then we could get going in good time and maybe, you know, have a big day. If we could get 300 acres done today, which that would be a stretch because it's wet and I'm sure we'll have mud issues. But that would set us up great for tomorrow to get this field wrapped up and head into the main yard. And then me and my brother would be done soybeans for our farm. And then we just have sunflowers, which we didn't do sunflowers last year because they looked terrible on the books. It was a good call. They didn't grow well. But I'm excited to get back into them. It's just different. On my machine, I definitely think I must have picked up a vibration. The bearings all seem decent on here, but maybe a blade broke off the fan, and that's what's going on. But we definitely got a vibration there that's breaking stuff. This is also interesting. So we'll have to... You know what I bet happened actually? We had a finger fall out. This one in particular. And I bet you it got caught up inside there and just popped that panel out. Nice. I just finished blowing off Dad's combine and I noticed that he's got a belt that's going. So I'll get one of these ordered. The first stage chopper belt. Not sure why it's going, but it's definitely seen better days. So let's get one of those on hand as soon as possible. Everything else looks fairly decent. He's got a good oil leak on his oil cooler, which is something I've already fixed on mine. So we'll throw new gaskets in there before next season. Alright, now we just gotta wash windows and I think we're gonna start. It's turning into a really nice morning. My little man's driving to work. Oh, he might have got hung up on something. He's in his Jeep. Oh, here he comes. Oh, he is just living his best life working on the farm. I love that so much. Slowly but surely, he's gonna make it here. That's a man on a mission right there. Holy, wind's picked up good. We got a sample. It cut really nicely. Big guy showed up. Oh, super tiny. So we're gonna go to the elevator and get a sample, right, buddy? So since everyone kind of showed up at the same time, Andrew's going to take the sample because I think it's going to go. It felt nice. And we're just going to start combining here. Get a good start. 11:06, not bad. Every hour that goes by, it dries up a little bit and we're making progress. The problem is this field, I mean, it's so big and it's got, you know, a lot of potholes in it. And they are just still super tacky and wet, and it's all around the headlands, and it's still so wet we can't even hardly drive through them, but we kind of have to do some of them that are on the headlands where we are. So that's being a bit of a challenge. The stuff over there is still super wet, so hopefully things will dry up here soon. Like, if they don't start getting dry today, we're gonna have issues tomorrow when we have to finish this field. So I've had lots of questions about the pattern we run for harvesting, how I have to unload twice going my one way because I can't unload going the other way, and what happens if you get full when you are going the one way that you can't unload. And it doesn't happen often, but every so often it lines up with a truck showing up or a grain cart getting full and I just can't get unloaded a second time, and it's really not crazy to figure out, but I just cut through the pass that I'm leaving to the open area here, and then I just sit here and unload, and then I'll cut through that little spot back into my strip and keep going. Slow and steady, making progress. The ditches are killer, the low spots that are wet are killer, and anything on the headland sucks, so we're kind of just doing a little bit on the headlands at a time as we go so that we can keep making progress. And it kind of cleans off the header, because once you get stuff stuck on it, it just likes to keep building up, whereas then you do a couple passes here, cleans off, starts sliding well, and then you go and do more headlands and it sticks. And I also got word that we got another cord coming out of the track on the grain cart tractor, which, not surprising. Also, it's been doing fairly well. Like, all I want now is for it to make it through harvest, so hey, fingers crossed, I think we might get her done. Andrew is grabbing a grinder though, and we'll cut that cord and keep on moving on with our life. We are almost at the halfway point in this field, even though we left probably 60 acres on that side over there just because it was wet. Yeah, you can definitely see it coming around there. It's hanging down. There it is. Oh, that poor tractor. It'll get some love this winter. Tractor's been through a lot though. It caught on fire in sunflowers a couple years ago, but it's been a solid unit. I forgot that I took my grinder yesterday actually to clean up my skid plates, so we're gonna do a quick little NASCAR pit stop. I think I'll just open the door and throw it at them. So this is a full section minus my yard site there, and then it's kind of broken up from the corner there right to there. There's like a natural spring somewhere right there in that ditch, and it just never dries up. We have sunk so many pieces of equipment in there, and we just go around now, so it kind of sucks that we have a little divot around here on the side, but it's just so bad and it never dries up. And the soil here, it's like this clay, and you'll just sink stuff down to the frame in no time. It's wild. But I've almost done 100 acres today, and it's only been 5 hours, so I mean, definitely not the fastest combining. Lots of messing around when it comes to mud. One of the neighbors, they've got 4 machines going though, and they finished a full section in like a day or whatever, which that would be sweet. I would like that a lot. But now we don't have the kind of equipment, so we just run the hours instead. And maybe one day we'll get there, but won't be anytime soon. The unfortunate thing about this field too is that like it's a big field, right? So a lot of the times previous to me and Andrew starting to farm it, it was always split up, that half and this half, and because of that there's a pretty severe ditch right in the middle through the whole thing, and it really sucks for soybeans because you're doing a diagonal through the ditch. You have to run in the ditch at all these funny angles for a while, and with it being so wet, I mean, ditches put more pressure on the ground with the header, and it's just no fun. And you can see Dad, well, he's in the ditch and he obviously caught mud. You kind of have to drive with it for a little bit to clean it out until your diagonal comes off, and then you can go that way. It's really quite challenging trying to see what we're doing here. We are definitely past halfway though, which is nice. I'm happy there's a big wind. I'd be even happier if it was maybe going east or west instead of heading north, but whatever. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. If the wind sticks up, should be able to get a lot done tonight. I know it's hard to see. We've been dealing with that all day, but it is looking suspiciously like rain is heading this way. And there wasn't supposed to be any rain, but you can see some clouds over there, and it says a brief period of rain within the next hour, so shoot, I hope it's not much. If it's anything, maybe it'll just shut us down for the day and we can get going again tomorrow, but that wouldn't be good if we got hammered again. But either way, that is another reason why I'm happy we just decided to start going yesterday and get some stuff done, because you never know. Like, you can check the forecast, it can say no rain, but you just never know. So it's always good to get out there and try a little bit earlier than a little bit later, I think. Worst thing that can happen is it won't go, and then you're no worse off. It's a good load on there. Oh, come on, focus on the tractor, not the window. There we go. Yeah. Decent. We had to switch trucks today. The Dad's Kenworth had a flex pipe go on the exhaust, which I guess isn't the end of the world, but we have another Volvo, so we figured throw that truck on there and then not worry about, I don't know, burning anything underneath the cab where that hole is. So we're running both of our Volvos now. Also, here's why I'm impressed today with the Sunnybrook Combine. If we keep an eye on my engine load, like it's between 0 and 10%. Maybe it'll get to 15. But it's really, really low. Like, the combine is not working at all. And I was just talking to my dad, exact same combine, except for he's got the stock cylinder and stock impeller in there. And he's at 50 to 60% engine load consistently. And that is huge. I never would have imagined in beans, and sure there's a little bit of green left in them, like on the stem. I thought wheat would have been our big savings for fuel because we're really using that engine capacity. But I'm completely blown away that we're using 40 to 50% less engine load than my dad. And that is definitely going to translate into fuel savings, and that is honestly one of the biggest things that's going to help this Sunnybrook setup pay for itself. So once again, like, if you have a Claus combine, or really any combine with a conventional cylinder in it, I think the benefits and the payback on going to a Sunnybrook cylinder are massive and totally worth it. It's expensive, but you're going to see a lot of upgrades, And with that, if you just have one machine, or you do all your machines with that Sunnybrook upgrade, you're going to get into the season and you're not going to notice a difference because they're all performing the same. Like when I started driving this, before I got it to my dad's and really started comparing it, talked to him throughout the days of harvest, you know, what things are doing, I really didn't notice much of a difference. But now, you know, seeing what that one does versus this one, it is night and day. We've done less hours than we normally do. We've gotten more done. We're using less fuel. It's separating and thrashing better. Just completely different combine and worth the money. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I wish I could do Dad's. Unfortunately, we just put new stock internals in his, so that won't be the case. But we're talking about buying another 590 or 595, and I think if we do, we'll have to do a Sunnybrook conversion on it. It just makes so much sense. We're gonna do a little shameless plug here. If you're interested in the Farm Tracks yield monitor that I've been using, it's been really helpful. Or the Sunnybrook system, like concaves, anything from Sunnybrook. I do have discount codes. Discount code for Farm Tracks is Matt Builds. You can put it in on their website at checkout, and you get 7% off your order and free shipping. If you're interested in any Sunnybrook upgrades, you can use James Sunny 25. You have to call them though, because they're run through dealers. So you would call them, place the order, and then they would tell the dealer what you're getting and, you know, how much you're getting off, which is 5%. I'll put that in the description below. But guys, these are all things that I paid for myself. I bought the Sunnybrook kit. They didn't give me anything. I bought the Farm Tracks, and these are products that I believed in before I started, you know, working with them to promote them. And I think these things, they have a pretty good ROI and are worth the money. So anyways, if you're thinking about it, save yourself a little bit of money. If not, whatever, it's no big deal. Things dried up enough over the day, and we still have enough wind that it's still cutting fairly well. There's definitely some storms around. Oh yeah, you can see some lightning. So far we haven't gotten hit, and I hope we don't, because that would set us back, and things are just getting to like a good point for combining here again. We realistically need like another hour, maybe an hour and a half would be nice, and then we will have gotten a lot done. So far I've gotten 150 acres done today, so we're right around 300 acres. I'd love to get closer to 340, 350 though. Wow. Oh man, I hope that isn't coming this way. I'd love to be closer to 350, then it would leave not that much for tomorrow. And it would be a relatively easy-ish day. I guess we'll see if that heads this way though, because then we'll have issues. And there it is. It's starting to rain. We looked at the forecast yesterday and there wasn't supposed to be rain for like a week. And here it is. Fantastic. Oh, I hope it's a oh my goodness. Wow.
I think it's raining. I'm going to unload right away.
That's bad. Like it literally just got dry enough. Oh, I'm so happy we pushed yesterday and got going. And you just never know, man. It's crazy. It's gonna wrap it up for tonight. Coming in quick. I think it'll move through pretty quick. A small system, but goodness sakes. That's awful. Well, normally I would tell you guys, hey, this is where we're gonna shut it down, and I'd be standing outside. But it's raining. So we're gonna do it inside. We had a good day. I thought we might be able to get another hour. obviously that didn't happen. So we'll see. Hopefully we can still get combining in tomorrow. Although it's going to really screw things up. Just because the wet spots that we were waiting for to dry, well, they're now going to be wet again. So I don't know. We'll see what tomorrow brings. But hey, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.